For game number 2, as Ground Zero, once again, the stakes are set. They're currently second. They're looking to guarantee themselves a playoffs position with 10 points already. 13 is the magic number. As for Fury, though, they finally got their hands on the Belveth, and already it's putting on the pressure with a flash burn by Venvi, and we're not even a minute into this game. It's a level 1, and just like that, they're happy with the trade they found.
Yeah, really nice flash force there from Benvi. Provides so much more safety towards this bot lane, right? You can imagine that Aphelios is something you do want to be targeting. With this Alistar and TF, right, there's so much CC to come through. Yes, you have the cleanse, but when there's all of that CC piled on top of each other, it's very hard to know what to actually use that summoner spell for. So a nice little hook and just taking advantage of the Belveth's strength at level 1 to force the flash out from Benvi.
Returning to your previous point as well, Lima's actually opting for those summoners, but rather than going for the fleet footwork, wants to go for press the attack. So it may be leaning towards your point of the Kraken Slayer into just gold card, destroy them in 3 attacks.
Yeah, it looks that way, and I just had a quick look on the wiki to compare the ranges of these two champions. Aphelios outranges TF just in his base form, and when he is in his Calibrum form, he outranges him by about 150 range, so it is quite a decent thing as we see a little bit of trading towards this bot lane. And you have to imagine that Aphelios feels pretty comfortable in the laning phase. I think where it really starts to go is in the case where a jungler is getting involved. Once a brand comes down and TF's able to use these cards to kind of provide that utility, that's when this pick can really start to flourish. But Belveth is flourishing right now. 2 camps already taken away from Schönfire's bot side.
Certainly has learned from last game, right, that if they're going to get aggressive and punish me, then I'm certainly going to look to try and return the favor once I get that opportunity. And it makes it a little bit more difficult then for the likes of Limas and Benvi to be as aggressive as they were, right? Very different variation what they're playing. Flash burn from the get-go. Sure, there's Hex Flash available, and it can mean that is with bush control that the Alistar still can be an absolute menace, but Nox has got away with one, and he's got the protection of his bot lane to escort him out.
Yeah, really nice play there from Fury. I'm surprised that Ground Zero didn't have any wards on that, given Schönfire even mentioned in that pre-game interview how much he knows that Nox likes to invade, but he might have found a window here.
He certainly may have found a window looking for the sun right now. He's going to guarantee it. Fantastic flash from Hooper. Otherwise, he was for sure dead for rights. First Blood was really looking to be on the table there, but they protected it for the meantime, and now Kiste could certainly now be the next one to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to fall down for First Blood instead. Chirp's got his revenge, and the Belveth Dream is starting to come online.
The Belveth Dream starting to come online. After that First Blood, they're free now to help out their bot lane. Hooper, you can see there's no HP, there's no summoners as well. Schönfire has Flash, and I think they're looking for the dive. Benvi's got Hex Flash.
They're looking for it all right now, so he starts it off. You're looking for the headbutt pog to try and get it all started. There it is, and it's going to be Schönfire that picks that one up. Limas, he's got aggro at the towers, so Findo picks up one. The tower's ramped up, so Schön's dead for a second. Chirp has made the great roam from mid to bot, and Nox at the right place at the right time picks up another kill too. Where was this Fury in game 1?
Fury come out of nowhere with a massive turnaround on that bot lane play. You can see that Hooper is desperately calling for members to help him to be able to get to his turret, but let's take a look at it again, right? It starts off with Limas tanking the turret. That is absolutely not what you want, because then he gets rooted by Findo, and that's huge because it means that all this time the turret is ramping up. You can see how much damage that single shot does to Schönfire. And keep in mind, Skimmy, while this whole play was happening, Nox and Chirp was sprinting down from mid lane after finding that kill. So it's just an easy 4 kills to start the game for Fury.
It certainly is an easy 2 kills to start it off. The best case scenario for a Belveth. You want to be ahead. You want your lane to be winning. You want to rotate freely to claim everything the map has to offer. And you certainly couldn't ask for a better start. The brand has definitely been put back for the meantime. Still got that first kill for them. The only kill, in fact, for Ground Zero. So certainly is going to be lagging behind too much. But now has a whole bunch of work to try and do to make sure that their lanes, aren't going to feel as doomed as it's looking like right now.
Yeah, and it's now the complete inverse of game 1, right? Chirp on this Syndra is absolutely bullying Kisse. A lot of that is thanks to all the gold he has. He has Sword Shoes on his first base compared to just a longsword from Kisse. And when you have this Belveth, it is all about your solo lane priority. Who can move first to these Void Grubs? And right now, both top and mid, that's Fury.
Certainly is, and Fury just are winning flat across the board. I say bot lane, it would be the only real outlier there because you can see that Hooper, having expended both those summoners, he was a sitting target. It was very much a premeditated play, which allowed Nox and Chirp to rotate down with such certainty to guarantee a fantastic disengage away there by Tien. as Tomasino tries to get the finishing blow.
Yeah, a bit of deja vu from last game there. Tomasino was looking to get a solo kill, but Nox has completed the grubs. Tien notices that. And will he be able to channel the base? He won't, Skimmy. So crucially, there is a wave here. Relatively low HP bars. They're looking for a dive.
And who's there to protect him? Because Jace doesn't have that TP, so I guess they can't help him at the meantime. Tien, though, he's been bailed out on this occasion. Thankfully for him, the wave has come on through, and they've decided against any further aggression. You can see in the bot lane, though, that really is the all-in for Ground Zero so far. This quirky, crazy TF Alistair. An easy opportunity then for Schoenfire to pop his head, even with vision, to say, well, if they dive top, we'll dive bot.
Yeah, he will be spotted now, but look at Hooper's cleanse. It's almost coming off cooldown. TP's on.
TP's coming in. It's looking like Tomasino wants to try and bail them out of the situation, but is it too little too late? It certainly doesn't seem to be the case right now, because he's TP'd and instantly picked up the kill onto Benvi. Schön is flashing, and Tomasino is pursuing. He's got no flash, but he certainly has a dash. So he hits the Pillar of Flame, gets sandwiched between two, sidesteps the dredge line, and then falls down for a second. That's a valuable, valuable TP.
Yeah, we talked earlier how Fury can respond to these bot lane plays, and both times now they've done so effectively. This time it's Tomasino TPing down is the real benefactor of that play, picking up 2 kills onto this lethality Aatrox, so he'll be feeling very good about that. Let's take a look at it again, because Hooper, you can see his cleanse is just about to come off of cooldown, but here's just too much damage, too much CC that he's taken out instantly, and it's this TP here that really shifts the play as well. Yes, Schoenfire flashes, but where are you actually running to? Chirp has mid lane priority, so all he can do is die after expending that summon spell.
Yeah, it's made it so difficult, right? And it's really been a fantastic segment of sort of discussing how junglers can interact, because it has been such a polarizing difference. Findo, unfortunate on that occasion, looking to try and slip through the cracks. Look at Limes dancing on him. Try again next time, buddy.
Yeah, you got Gangnam styled after that hook here. Fury as well. I'm going to find Benvi, but there's a massive wave here. Nox is here as well. They might look for a dive.
They are looking for the dive right now. The stun goes out, the knockup goes through, and Findo is definitely looking...
That all happened. Here we go. Let's get back into it. See you later, boys.
Oh, we're back, and we're still diving that tower, and Limus is still trying to live, but he's back. He DC'd, but he's back, and he's dead once again. And, well, ultimately, he gets the kill from the grave. He'll be happy with that. Somehow, Tien has got a solo kill top lane. He's found his revenge. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Enjoy the dive.
Okay, so as much changes, nothing changes, right? Ultimately, the outcome still is the same there. Limus is the one who goes down and misses the huge wave. This time, though, they do get a trade in return, right? That's the important thing. Still some gold to come through. And like you mentioned, towards the top side of the map, it's going to be a solo kill for Tien. So suddenly, that top lane pro isn't as one-sided as it was before. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But all things said and done after that dive, there's only about 1,000 gold separating these two teams.
You're not too much in it. It's certainly a close affair, but you know, still, you just feel like Fury have had a whiff of that aggression. They've had a taste of what it's like to be ahead. And I tell you what, there's no reason Belveth was banned 100% of the time. Limus is back in lane, but he might just die all the same. He's surrounded by 3. It's a 4-0 Belveth. He's got a 400 gold bounty. And look at this. My man is flashing away, hitting the Destiny, and he's TP'd out to safety. He's in the mid lane to die there instead. What is happening?
I have no idea what Limus just did with that TP. I think maybe he thought that he could have gotten a gold card and locked in to try to kill Chirp, but it's just going to be a free kill donated to the mid laner. So a sequence of really unfortunate deaths there for the AD carry of Ground Zero.
Unreal. Really, after all that delay with our little champion conundrum getting completely exposed, not knowing a single ornament, we come back to this absolute clown fiesta. Now, it's Ground Zero's chance to try and force the pincer as the Skeleton Week comes from the right, but the stun lands from the left, and Kissei delivers that killing blow.
Yeah, this time the collapse will work on towards that mid lane Chirp. Not able to dodge the brand. He uses the Scout of the Week on the Alistar, which is a smart decision, but Schoenfire able to find something back, and quite crucially, honestly, this brand was very far behind the pace of Nox, but now this means that Ground Zero will be able to get towards these Void Grubs. They've already taken one. A 3v3 could pursue for the last one.
Yeah, how much more can they look to try and take right now? The third one is still left up in the air, trying to be decided as the TP comes in from Chirp, looking to try and answer back with a little bit of extra damage he's now got in his pocket from visiting old mate Boris. But it doesn't really matter, because ultimately Nox makes himself at home in that Baron pit and takes one away for themselves.
Yeah, and they'll secure the 5 Void Grubs as well, which is really key here, as well as giving Bel'Veth her true form, which is nice. That will provide a little bit of extra tower taking potential to that side with the 1 Void Might that will be spawning to them. Meanwhile, you can see top lane is a little bit of trading here. TN feeling a bit more confident now after purchasing this Sheen and Bramble Vest. Really the kind of turning point in this lane when you're able to cut that healing, when you're able to also have a fair bit of damage with those Q auto attacks coming at us. He might be looking again.
He certainly will be. Just unfortunate with the ultimate there. Felt like he was close enough to the wall to try and drag him right into the top half of that river. Tommasino very luckily has been powder. He's burnt the flash, proc the ultimate, and now he's going to defend his life underneath this tower because nobody's coming to bail him out.
Yeah, no one is coming to save him there. You can see, luckily this time Tommasino is going to have a nicer time of it. Rather, TN is going to have a nicer time of this 1v1 as they might defend Kisse, but he has flash.
Kisse's not deterred though. He's actually taking on the 1v2. He knows he can be aggressive because he's got the boys ready to back him up, beelining it straight through the mid lane. And as soon as Sherd and Benvi reveal themselves, instantly Fury back away.
Benvi doing a very nice job of always hovering around this mid lane at the right times. He's always there when his mid laner could be potentially getting aggressed upon, like right now.
Unleashing all that power is Chirp, but it's not enough to get the kill onto Kisse. He gets to limp away and survive to fight another day as Benvi tries to zone out Fido as the Dragon was engaged. Garanzero already have 1 to the name and looking for that second, but unable to find it right now. Shern flashing away, depth charge on his head, a stun from Chirp, and Moonlight Vigil from a million miles away. And it's going to be a 1-4 and a massive shutdown fan from Schönfire. Really is going to bail him out of a very poor start to this game. And Nox, despite being so strong, is finally forced to go back.
Bailout absolutely is the turn there. Nox going a bit too far forward to try to get the final blow into Schönfire, but Limis is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, Chirp's flashed away, but it's not going to deny him because he's still burning on down. He's going to turn around and Benvi gets the kill with the Ignite tick. This game, you just can't call it right now, Max, because everything's happening at once. It feels almost like a scrim game at this point, because this is too much chaos. My man's been run down by an ADTF with so much attack speed. The cleanse comes out, the gold card means nothing. He's got no flash, and Nox is not even there to try and help him. He turns his attention to Schönfire. It's 80 carry versus 80 carry. Jungler versus jungler, and Schön has got 1 HP to his name, but Nox, no way! Oh my god, from the afterlife, this game, you just cannot call.
You cannot call this at all. 1 bit, this TF is everywhere on the map and seems like he's finding so much success on this pick that, you know, we just said was dying time after time. It starts off with an ult in the mid lane. How many times when you're playing mid lane yourself against the Jace in mid lane do you expect to get TF ulted? I would wager that it's very few. A nice kind of window there from Limis to find an extra kill, and then that skirmish does not go how Fury want at all. They leave Limis and Hooper alone, thinking that Aphelios will be able to deal with the TF, but he is simply out damaged and then ends up picking up a double kill. A disaster for Fury, who've done such a good job at shutting down this TF.
And it doesn't look like we're done yet because it continues to swarm around this mid lane. That is the 5-way to success as they look to try and say, okay, what have we achieved so far, and what else can we look to try and take back? Because Garanzero, despite everything going against them in those first 10 minutes, they have now got the gold lead. I do not believe it. We begged the question during that little interval as to what would happen when Fury had a gold lead. Would they be able to retain it? Well, it doesn't look like right now because Hooper's been pounced upon, stun into stun, desperation coming out here as Fury answer back and say, we're just too strong. Wherever Nox is, we will fight, but he's losing. He's flashed the Dragon. He'll find no reprieve, and that man, that DC, comes back and drops a nuke to pick up a triple.
The TP in from Tommasino does little but add to the death count. For the side of Fury, this TF is providing so much value. You can see the gold card chase down on towards Hooper means he can absolutely do nothing but watch as he's blown up by the barrage of CC and damage to follow. And Fury, they had the pace in their hands for so much of the game, but right now, it's really this support jungle combo who is taking over the game for the side of Ground Zero. We take a look again, you can see a really nice Hex Flash from Benvi, gets him on towards Hooper, and Limis simply just does so much damage amongst this brand passive that's continually popping. Yes, it's a TP in from Tommasino, but it's matched by TN, and that means that when all is said and done, the damage is just too great from Ground Zero.
It's too great. It's an Emax Twisted Fate with a Kraken Slayer online, untouched. and unable to be taken down. Compare the bot lanes right now. It's a 1-4 Aphelios versus an 8-4 Limes. It's criminal how strong he is given the state of the game at 10 minutes into this one. But benvi really is looking to try and continue to be aggressive. He stands amongst 4 members, gets shredded on down. He's got no ultimate, so he's so damn squishy. But Tien looks to take down Findo. Schoenfire burns him down. His Limes flashing forward with a gold card, but gets eviscerated with a shutdown going the way of Nox. This fight really could go any way right now. So the Moonlight Vigil goes across. It tags up Tien. And Hooper finally answers back with a kill of his own.
Complete bloodbath there, but ultimately it goes in the favor of Fury because Limes goes down. He gets overconfident with his flash, tries to use it to take down Tomasino, but when you're flashing in against the Bel'Veth and against the Syndra, you need to be prepared to take the damage that follows, and he simply wasn't. So despite the last 10 minutes, they're overwhelmingly going in the favor of Ground Zero, this fight will be going against him. As we can see, it starts with a pick onto benvi, just trying to clear this ward, not respecting all the damage and all the members from Fury that are in the area. Now, keep your eyes on to the Twisted Fate as this fight evolves. You can see he's moving up to his members, wants to hit onto the Nautilus, and then it's this flash forward here that really dooms him. The second that's out, it's a nice W from the Bel'Veth to find him chained with the Scout of the Week, and just blows his head off. And then off the back end, the Moonlight Vigil as benvi. Almost deja vu.
This honestly feels like a really rough game to be an analyst there, Max, because there's just no time to break things down. These teams are just go, 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 go. I tell you what, it really does, once again, feel like a scrim because they are just playing with such a reckless abandon, almost like they are the viewers at home, like, what is this delay? Start the game, get on with the action. And that is certainly what they're doing. 30 kills in 17 minutes, and the game still is dead even.
Still dead even. The only thing really separating the two teams is the objectives that are in their control. You can see Ground Zero with 2 dragons to their name compared to the 5 Void Grubs and Herald that have been secured by Fury. So we'll be interesting to see where this Herald goes. The damage is there is a little bit of damage onto that mid lane turret for the side of Fury, so you could imagine that that's an avenue for them to blow that open. But look at benvi, he's onto Chirp.
He's looking at Chirp and saying, you're a very squishy Syndra in a side lane into Kiste. It's going to be easy for us to try and take you down. It's already a 40 CS advantage for this man here. And he was down and out for first blood. And he's clawed it back in such a commanding fashion. Once again, leading to the idea that the experience really is making a difference right now. But we don't want to speak too soon. Because despite their lack of experience, Fury are playing with so much confidence because they are on all their best champs.
They are, and Nox especially is kind of the shining light here for Fury. 2 items completed with the Kraken Slayer and Titanic Hydra. He's got so much on-hit damage. He'll absolutely melt through basically anyone he's able to get his hands on, and also has a nice bit of survivability thanks to the health that Titanic Hydra is giving him. So keep your eye on him as we progress through these fights. With how bloody they've been, I definitely wouldn't put it past him to be able to get a couple resets in these skirmishes, and this mid lane turret looks like the next fight.
So he does the wraparound here from Fury. They look to try and go straight into the mid lane. That tower, they're going to feel so hard done by the fact that it did not fall on down, but in comes the TP from Ground Zero. Looking to try and make this fight a winning one on their front. Tien jumps in, looks like down Nox to say, get away from our Twisted Fate, because Limes has been shredded down again. It's just too much damage to bear right now. As soon as he burrows on down, he does unethical amounts of damage. And Fury look to try and run away with things. They've already taken down the bot lane of Ground Zero. And now they're looking to try and pepper them all down from afar. Fantastic 2-man stun from Chirp. Keeps them at arm's reach. And they get to continue to hold strong in the mid lane.
They're holding strong in the mid lane, and it's thanks to this mid-jungle duo. You can see the power that these two have. They initially get caught off by Limes. However, they turn the fight quickly. Let's take a look at it again. You can see it's a split fight to start. Nox and Chirp kind of getting zoned off, especially by this TP, while the rest of Fury tries to hit the Alistar rather. And once that gold card comes through, you think Chirp's going to be one-shot, but actually it turns around onto Limes, and just a very nice flash to cancel the animation of the Cassante ultimate, meaning Nox doesn't get pulled over, Nox doesn't get separated. That enables him to get back and continue threatening in this fight.
I'm just amazed by how much damage the Bel'Veth does once they pop their E, right? The Royal Maelstrom, you just stand still, take no damage, do so much damage, and if you're copping a fair bit, your life steal it all back in the process. It's so hard for Limes to actually try and escape that one, especially when the CC comes on through. And Fury are showing no signs of slowing on down. 9 kills on the Belveth right now. Chirp, despite some Storm Surge nerfs, is going to rush that as his second completed item here. That may just be the mantra of this one. Snowball, snowball, and look to continue snowballing. The Ghost comes out, the gank takes place. Tomasino is the target, and he's got 3 members hot on his tail. Where does he go? Because the stun comes through, the electrocute procs, the headbutt pole lands, and the shutdown occurs. But they've got to run to Baron. Their Destiny's not available. They have no blue trinket to proc. This Baron could get stolen.
Yeah, the Baron's already down to 50% HP here as Tien will find Chirp without flash, takes the kill here, you'd have to assume. Now the question is, can they get this Baron down? It looks like they will be able to. Are they going to be able to get out?
It's too little too late. Will these Barons survive? Fury runs one way, or rather Nox runs to the right. The rest of the team go to the left. Find they're sacrificing himself for the greater good. Protect Hooper. Make sure they have at least a few Baron buffs to salvage and utilize. And continue to try and play their game. I tell you what, a Baron buff with those Void Mites would just be so strong right now. But they managed to hold on to 2.
Yeah, absolutely. The crucial thing is, though, is that Belveth lives through that play, right? So she does get to keep that true form. She does get to keep the Baron buff as well. And like you said, that kind of side lane nightmare with her minions, with the Void Mites spawning from the ones that she's already collected as well. There's going to be so much to deal with in these side lanes if Nox is able to set up. So definitely going to keep an eye on him, but it's just a quick trigger pull that really enables Fury to have that happen, right? You see Tomasino get collapsed upon in the bot lane, even Chirp as well falling down onto the side lane, but it crucially provides enough time for Nox, who does so much damage to that Baron, to start free hitting. And now this will be sole point, but look at where Nox is. He doesn't care. He wants to set up and he wants to break some towers.
Not interested, right? It's a case of you can realize that potential soul point, but that's not for another good 5 minutes. We want to unleash our true potential right here and now. We've got the damage, we've got the Baron buff, so let's force you to respond to us. And that's exactly what Grand Zero are doing right now. They've got into the top lane, they've snuck away another turret, and they keep Grand Zero guessing as to where their next play will take place. On vision is Benzi! Oh, my heart skipped for a second there, but the Spidey senses were working, and he sidesteps the hook at the last second.
Yeah, a little 1 pixel dodge there from Benvi, as he should realize now that he is standing on a ward and will clear that one away. But now it's on to Fury to kind of clear this side of the jungle. They'd put so many resources towards that top lane to enable that push to take place. Then now kind of comes this transitional phase where they're dropping their wards, they're resetting for items, and then picking back up where they left off towards this bot lane. You still have a decent amount of time left on this Baron. About a minute left on that buff. So we'll see what Nox and the rest of Fury can get done in that time.
In with the face check, gets met by a Belveth, realizes that's not the fight I want to take right now. You're so incredibly strong with a Titanic Hydra also complete, but maybe, just maybe, I'm itemized absolutely perfectly for you with the Frozen Heart, Iceborne Gauntlet, and the Fawn Mail soon to be coming online. Maybe that is the counter here to Nox. The TP comes on through, and Lemus, that's not where you want to be. Your destiny was sealed with an ultimate that went pear-shaped. In goes Schönfire, turns golden, and dies all the same. Hooper, despite a poor laning phase, it does not matter. His team has rallied around him, and now he's broke even with 4 kills to the 4 deaths earlier on. It's a shutdown found eventually as Tien takes down the Belveth. But it is Grand Zero lagging behind with a numbers disadvantage, and they're the ones forced to back away as Tien cops the Nautilus ultimate. He runs and tanks all the damage, but Benvi does not have that luxury as a very squishy support. Max range on the hook, they still pursue, but Chirp's out of range to hit him with some true AP damage.
Oh, what a bloodbath there in the bot lane, but it starts off with Lemus just TPing in point-blank range, getting one shot. And then, yes, you are in a pretty strong position with your other laners, but once that TF's down, that's so much of your DPS that is missing as well. You have to imagine a misplay that Lemus is regretting right now. TP's in, just tanks up a Belveth Q immediately upon arriving, plus the Moonlight Vigil to secure the deal. And then after that, Schönfire gets caught off by the side. Luckily gets off a fair bit of damage before he falls to zone Chirp out of the rest of this fight, or else this TP from Kisei could have been a disaster.
It's so could be a disaster. They've salvaged something from a play which looks so Fury favoured. And there's something phenomenal about what we're witnessing right now is that Fury are playing with so much confidence in their play that Grand Zero are looking a little bit exposed. They're trying to showcase what they can do. But Fury really do look like they've turned the nameplates off and are just going for gold.
Yeah, going for gold here. Tien just manages to escape, but crucially now, the item spikes for the start of Fury are really starting to come to fruition. You can see the LDR almost complete from Hoopy here, as well as Chirp, who's working his way towards that Rabadon's death cap. Once these come online, the scaling is really a potent threat for these two carries. Yes, the TF will scale nicely, and yes, the Jace will always be able to throw those shock blasts. But ultimately, this Aphelios and Syndra, they're heralded as late game champions for a reason, and they are absolutely threatening once those items come online. So as we wait for this Baron and next Dragon to spawn, these champions will keep getting ever stronger, and really being the question of who is actually going to come out on top in a late game team fight.
And at this point, I really don't know. I really don't know. This game has been so unpredictable with the amount of chaos that's taken place. This many kills, certainly working our way towards a new record for this split. But certainly the allure of those all-important objectives is not too far away, with the Baron up in about a minute now. That surely seems like the next part where they'll try and draw their line and say we fight for this right here and now. But in they go, looking for it. Tien starts it up with their being Benvi to complement him nicely. Lemus untouched, so he's able to just do so much damage. Already at double digits with 11 kills to his name. Flashing the knock-up that Nox was trying to threaten him with. And Thomasina jumps across the wall, but he doesn't get the knock-up, he doesn't get the damage, he doesn't get to pop them with this lethality build. And then Chert realizes, I've got nothing left in their tank. I burnt the flash, I've got the ultimate, but not enough orbs to kill anybody.
It's a tragedy. Right after we sing the praises of Fury, they get caught up in trying to save their Nautilus, and they end up going down. You can see how much they commit to an already losing situation, and it ends up in a fight going in the favor of Ground Zero. They pick up those 4 kills, and as well, they break a tier 2 turret, so now the gold is dead even.
My oh my, really, take a breather, take a second to really figure out what's going on here. Because these two are the true carries of the show. Nox has been baited. Completely baited on that occasion. He thought he smelt blood in the water with a lonely TF on his own. Baited into that false sense of security, and just like that, it's far too easy now for Granzo to pick up the Ocean Soul, the soul of all souls in our eyes. And now that Baron becomes even more interesting.
Yeah, it's not even that, right? The dead jungler means you can definitely turn towards this Baron, but let's take a look at the fight that starts it all. It's all TN just continuing to slow Findo, trying to slow chase him, and as a result, Hooper puts himself into this horrible position where Benvi's able to jump on top of him, get collapsed by Lemus as well, and then the rest of the members of Fury are just forced to run, really. Not much you can do. Thomasino tries to find an engage after the flash is used by Lemus, but simply just too fast is that Twisted Fate, able to run out of any potential threat, and they run down Chirp as well. And really, it's the death on towards Belveth at the end that is so crucial in securing this soul. Also going to be able to cede control of this top side over towards Ground Zero as well, simply because of that tempo. So now it's becoming such a hard prospect to walk into this team, this Alistar, this Jace, this TF, who are all threats in their own right. And Twisted Fate, Lemus saying he doesn't want to get one shot anymore. He's picked up a Jack Show.
He certainly has picked up the Jack Show, whether or not he goes for the Terminus afterwards and then does the most damage whilst having 200 resistance available at the same time too. With an Ocean Soul coupled on top of that, I mean, they have so many ways to try and be a nuisance if they set up and plant themselves for the siege defense that Fury will be hoping to try and achieve. But right now, the current threat is there is a Baron on the cards, and it's a face check from Nox. Why is it him face checking? It cannot be this way. He's your most fed member. He does so much damage, but he's so squishy at the same time. And Thomasino caught in no man's land, surrounded by 5. And Grand Zero say, you're not familiar with this situation. You've got a gold lead, but you don't know how to close it out. And we'll take the lead back again.
Yeah, they have no idea what to do, Fury. They send someone in expecting a Baron threat on the cards, but it just is a bait. They just end up sending Belveth in to die, and Thomasino, as a result, is caught on mid-wave. It's reeks of desperation here. They're not even going to be able to get in to even look at this Baron. And like you said, Fury were in control for so much of the game, but Ground Zero, they've found their way back in, and they're not looking to let up.
They certainly aren't looking to let up. Let's run it back with the replay once again, because it's Nox thinking, okay, it's just an Alistar on its own. It's safe passage. But as we know, it certainly wasn't the case.
Yeah, someone has to walk in, right? I think that's the communication here from Fury. They need to get eyes on that Baron, and unfortunately, it is Nox who they sacrifice. Keep in mind, Nox is definitely not squishy by any means. He is a very tanky Bel'Veth, but there's just so much damage on the side of Ground Zero that they simply don't care about that. And now all this poke becomes all the more real when you have the minion waves to back it up, and they are pushing into this quadrant. Nox might have found a flank though.
Yeah, found a flank right now. He's going to try and jump straight towards Lemus. The knockup goes through. He hits the real Maelstrom, but he's not got lethal. Schoenfire goes golden, and Nox is dead again. Their star man has fallen down once again. Chip's found the kill that he's after with the ultimate, really unleashing its true power. And Tomasino forced to flash to the safety of that bot lane. These fights, they're all coming together. It's a cinematic masterpiece.
Really is a cinematic masterpiece there. Looked really good for the side of Fury with the positioning that Nox had. But it simply is just a damage gap, right? He's able to get onto the backline, but doesn't actually have anyone to support him there. Tomasino not wanting to pop the ultimate, not wanting to get on towards that backline with his jungler, means he will just fall isolated by himself. And as a result, you do have a numbers advantage for Ground Zero as they look towards this bot lane turret. These two supers will make work of it.
My vigil going on out.
Chunk so low.
It's just not enough though, is it, Max? Here, it's just not enough. The base defense, it cannot persevere. Tomasino stands up for 1 second, receives a little bit of damage and is forced right back towards that fountain. 4 members here. Benvi returning from the base, and they need him for this engage. This is a fantastic opportunity now for Fury to try and fight in a 5v4. Tien is so tanky, but Schoenfire is certainly not. Zonya is burnt in that previous fight. Flash forward from Fido, and they found their kill. Tien is dead. Kiss they soon to follow, and Fury, they get a whiff, they get a chance, and they go absolutely crazy with it. They're still looking for more in the mid lane, but Chirp, you've got to show some respect here. Fantastic stun, and I think he's just buffered enough.
Yeah, he wanted to TP on that mid wave to make sure that they still had a wave to push with to potentially try to end the game. But unfortunately, Lemus had the Destiny Gate available to get towards that and prevent that from taking place. So it's a nice fight, but won't transition to the end of the game.
Oh, Max, give me some conclusion, some outcome to this game. So it all starts off here, and it just doesn't let up.
Yeah, it absolutely doesn't. You can see Nox with the initial wraparound really nice on towards Lemus, but because of the space Benvi is buying, as well as Schoenfire with all that AoE damage coming through, it's incredibly hard for the Fury carries to actually walk through that pit. That means that by the time Tomasino is ready to go on this Aatrox here, he's got no one to back him up and is forced to flash out himself. That's the initial fight, but the one towards bot lane going much more in the favor as Fury is... Skimmy, they picked up the Elder.
They've picked up the Elder. Well, there you have it. They really want to say we're strong and we're sick of you looking to try and outmaneuver us with your mechanics, with your experience, with your comprehension of the situation that we find ourselves in right now. What was a 23-minute stomp in game 1? Well, we've expired that. 10 minutes past. And it's, well, dead even in gold, dead even in kills, and dead even in us not knowing what the hell is going on.
Yeah, Elder is so big here now. You can see, because of the pure damage, even something like a Syndra QE plus a W is likely to kill almost everyone on the side of Ground Zero now. So it's going to be a bit of time where Ground Zero have to kind of cede control here. They have to acknowledge that they can't take an outright 5v5 unless they can guarantee that this Syndra or Aphelios is dead. But these carries, once again, are looking so strong now. Items coming online for all of them. 4 completed for both of these carries. It's very strong. Shed might be looking for Schoenfire here. He flashes forward.
He's flashing forward, going golden is Schoenfire, but the real target was Lemus all along. Out goes the Moonlight Vigil. It's not enough. Schoenfire, oh, he ticks down at the very aims. Are you kidding me? And this was looking like Fury are set up, posturing to end the game right here and now with Elder, with damage, with Void Mites as well. They have the pressure to get it done here. Ground Zero got to play the best team fight of their life.
They've got to protect the wave here, Skimmy. That's the important thing. It's going down, but the hook's onto Tien.
Tien is the focus. He's so incredibly tanky, but even he can't bear the pressure that this Elder has to offer. He gets to limp away. And Kislev continues to pepper them from afar with these shock blasts, but that's exactly right there, Max. They've got to run. They've missed their opportunity.
TP!
TPing in. Who's it going to be? It's looking like it's going to be Tien coming in for this one, but actually he postures into the mid lane. They want to keep them locked in mid. Kislev's going for the end right now. It's the case of who can get back to Fury. Nox and Findo locked in place. Chirp down to 30%. And Hooper, the only one that's actually able to make the entire run back to base. He goes No recall here today. Only one Nexus tower taken. Max, I'm sweating bullets here. This game is just too hard to predict. And Fury have gone from one side of the map to the other.
It's pandemonium all over the Rift there. You could see it started off with Fury looking to try to end there, but they didn't have the wave. Crucially, it got cut by some really nice J Shock Blast, and then off the back end, this massive wave that Ground Zero want to capitalize on leads to a big kind of confusing play around this mid lane. You can see TP and Ultimate committed in here to this mid lane. They want to stop bases. That's the key thing here. You can see Kisei just melt through turrets. So Findo will be kind of the sacrificial body that prevents and allows the rest of his team to get back on defense. But meanwhile, as we're coming out of this, the death timers, they mean that it's going to be a Baron for Ground Zero.
Certainly is going to be a Baron for Ground Zero to pick on up as they look to run away with this one. All 5 members will have that one active. And it begs the question, with this all-important buff available for them, what can they look to get accomplished with it? Because Fury, out of position, weren't able to try and contest it. And Ground Zero have been able to sneak that from right underneath them. And I tell you what, they're going to be praying for that bot lane inhibitor to come back anytime soon.
Yeah, they will absolutely need it. I mean, a Baron buff, in addition to all the poke that can come out from this Ground Zero roster, really does place pressure on you to deal with this wave clear. Cooper still has the Infernum in his hand. Actually, he just cycled off of it, so you're going to be missing the wave clear that provides quite dearly. And Chirp as well on this Syndra, going to be making sure he's kind of shepherded around to kill these minions, because a single second left alone with a Jace in a side lane is going to be catastrophic for your objectives. You need to make sure you are very cohesive with your push. As here goes Lemus. He's the safe one to send to the side, always going to have that ultimate available, as Fury try to catch a member on mid lane but won't make it happen.
Not going to happen for the meantime. It is going to be that 1-4 split as you describe, and worth noting that Lemus does have that Terminus now completed, so going to be the tankiest AD carry you'll ever see. So many resistance available, and it's going to be so impactful given that these next few fights, or even this potential fight right here, may just spoil the end. 30 kills apiece nearly. This will be a new record for the split. It certainly has delivered for what will be the longest and the most chaotic. Fury now have to figure out, okay, we're getting pinched from every side. We're grateful that that bot lane inhibitor has respawned. But we have to defend this Baron Siege.
They're doing a good job of it so far. There's just about a minute left on that buff, as the Elder is really the next thing that comes into the minds of both teams here. You can see that because of the Baron control they have, Ground Zero should have an easier time setting up towards this bot quadrant of the map. And we know, we've seen from all these fights previously, that setup can be so important in securing a team the win. As Lemus, look at his damage onto Tomasino there.
Stuck as a 5-man squad of Fury, unwilling to rotate or send members to side lanes. They have no TP luxury available for them, but they don't want to get cheesed in a split push affair. That is the luxury that Ground Zero have available to them. They sent Kisei to the bot lane to push that one out, to passively try and acquire that retake of the inhibitor. And the Elder has just about respawned. And Ground Zero are wrestling for mid lane control. If they can see too much of this, there's nothing stopping Fury from running straight down the mid lane and ending this game. Lemus baits him in the mid lane, acting as a lonely sheep ready to pounce upon, but will not die. Knocks the next one on the chopping block. Double kill here for Schoenfire. Lemus destining in from the behind onto Hooper's head, but he stands and delivers. Blue and red, he does so much damage. The Moonlight Visual misses, but it does not matter because the rest of this team has fallen around him.
It feels only fitting that a game this chaotic ends in a way that is no less crazy than the rest of it. You can see the initial engage onto Lemus, but he flashes it so well. Reacts perfectly as Kisei might have found Hooper here.
He's looking for it. Kisei limping away, but it's the luxury of a Guardian Angel to save the day. Ace in the end, a very delayed one at that. And my God, we can finally take a breather. The shenanigans are over. The Twitch chat can calm down, and we can get ahead to the next series. This game has certainly delivered a 40-minute bloodbath, and what a fitting way for Ground Zero to secure their ticket into playoffs.
It's a bloody game. Ground Zero,